Jawani Hai Deewani is a film about relationships. But when I say relationships, it's not only about boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. It's also about friends, family. It's also the story of the journey of these four different characters, how we all influence each other. When we sort of meet, we become friends, and how we influence each other's lives. And also the importance of having special people around you in your life. You can have the most amazing life, but if you don't have those special people to share it with, then life itself is pointless. So I think, there's various things to the film, but also like Ranbir always says, it's an entertaining film. It's a film that we've made to entertain the audience. So it's a little bit of everything, and then you throw in a song like Balam Pichkari and Badtameez Dil.
It was lovely, and I think I've spoken enough about this. It's always wonderful to work with such talents like Madhuri ji, and she was so gracious and she added so much of dignity to our movie, and I'm really grateful that I got this opportunity.
We shot for about 120 days for Ye Jawani Hai Deewani, which is a lot for a love story. And I think Ayan is really a taskmaster, and I think we all felt like we were shooting an adventure film more than a simple love story.
Oh wow.
Honestly, I think amongst the four of us, and when I say four, I mean Aditya, Ranbir, Kalki and myself, I think I'm going to give myself a little credit and say that I was the one who sort of would feed them. So I carried these biscuits. So on the first day of the beginning of the schedule, we had to drive from Chandigarh to Manali, and it was quite a long drive. It was raining. It was a tough drive. And I'd carried like these healthy diet biscuits with me, and I had just a few. And we were starving, we were really hungry, and so I said, let me be nice and offer it to everyone. So they all took a biscuit, and I told them it's really precious. So they all ate it, took a bite, and they all threw it back in my face, saying that it tasted like cardboard. And then after that, Ranbir decided to take us to this place called Kikkad Lodge, which was supposedly serve the most amazing food. He said it was like a 20-minute detour, which actually took us 3.5 hours in the opposite direction. So anyway, the point is that we reached Manali very, very late, and we had to wake up very early the next morning to get to shoot. And Kikkad Lodge was definitely not worth it, Ranbir Kapoor.
Well, I said that because I know Deepika so well, and I had worked with her 5 years back in our second film together, Bajna Hai, and having worked with her in Ye Jawani Hai Deewani, she really surprised me with the kind of performance she was bringing in, with the kind of intelligence, her talent that she was bringing in, and while acting with her, sometimes you act with a person and you know how that person is going to react, or you know how that person is going to say a certain dialogue, but she was constantly, surprising, working in moment to moment, and I said it purely because of that. She really intimidated me with her talent. No. It was shot very normally. पान में पुदीना देखा, नाक का नगीना देखा, चिकनी चमेली देखी, चिकना कमीना देखा, चांद ने चीटर होके चीट किया तो सारे तारे बोले गिली गिली अक्खा. So basically, it's you just have to kind of say it a couple of times and वो आ जाता है. And all these lines were in one shot. There was no cut, which made it harder, but it was also fun to do it because very rarely you get songs like this, to perform in. So yeah, it was all done in normal speed. भी वही स्पीड में था, ऐसे नहीं कि हमने बाद में बढ़ा दिया है. Yeah, it was a little hard because also I was dancing after 2 years. Rockstar didn't dance, Barfi though, of course, I was deaf and mute. So I got a good opportunity. I got a good song from Pritam Dada, and Remo was a choreographer. He wanted to try this new kind of swing dance. So we just had lots of fun on it. मैं पापा और मम्मी के साथ रहता हूँ, लेकिन अभी तक पापा ने मुझे ही नहीं कहा है, तो मुझे भी एक्चुअली पेपर में ही मैंने पहली बार पढ़ा है. जहाँ मेरा सवाल है एज एन एक्टर, नॉट बिकॉज आई कम फ्रॉम द सेम फैमिली हुज मेड द मूवी, आई वुडंट लाइक टू रीमेक आवारा, बिकॉज आई थिंक अगर आप राज कपूर, नरगिस जी, शंकर जयकिशन, पृथ्वीराज कपूर, उन सबको वापस ले आओ इस दुनिया में, फिर शायद वो बन सकती है पिक्चर. आई डोंट थिंक हमारी कोई औकात है वो पिक्चर को टच करने की. आई थिंक द फिल्म वाज मेड टू इट्स बेस्ट ऑफ इट्स कैपेबिलिटीज, एंड आई वुडंट लाइक टू टच इट.
I think on our part, I think it's a bit unfair. Of course, it kind of gives a bad name to the sport. But I think it's also a little unfair that just because of a few people, following this malpractice, that you kind of, everyone sort of, then you start doubting everybody else. I think that's a bit unfair on our part. Having said that, I said this earlier on today as well. I think it's very important, like as a country, when you want to shine as compared to the rest of the world, or you want to be on the same level economically or otherwise, I think it's very, very important that the sports people in our country do really, really well. And this is not really helping that. So it's sad. And also because I've grown up in a generation where I've seen my father, and the Anil Kumble's and the Rahul Dravids, and sport at that time was so pure and so clean. So to see it go down this route is very, very disappointing.
ये गॉडफादर का मतलब क्या होता है कि someone who you really are fond of, उनके जब बच्चे होंगे, you want the kids to kind of look up to you, you want to kind of mentor the kids, you want to give them correct values. पता नहीं अगर मेरे बच्चे होंगे या नहीं, लेकिन इसके तो ज़रूर होंगे. So I would like to be her children's godfather. I don't know if she or her husband will allow me, but it will be nice to mentor her children.
Thinking, I haven't even thought of that. So he's thinking way ahead. When it happens, we'll think about. We shall discuss this.
And she is a very tender, loving, and caring person. She likes to do things for other people, and she likes to spoil you, pamper you. So there are loads of things, the way she is, and if you are unwell, or if something's bothering you, or if anything that you're going through in life, good or bad, she'll always be there for you. And I think just being there for somebody is tender, loving, and caring, and she kind of embodies that. So Parachute, good call in signing her as a brand ambassador.
Deepika, what about you?
A couple of years ago, actually when we first met, we were going for a drive, and I just generally spoke about wanting to learn how to play an instrument. And I had said that I either wanted to learn how to play the piano or learn how to play the guitar. I love music. In fact, I don't watch too much television. In my downtime, I like to listen to a lot of music. And so I just casually mentioned it in conversation. And like a week later, I went back home, and there was this massive piano that had reached my house that he had gifted me. So it's not about the piano, but it's the thought, is what I'm trying to say. So he's very sensitive, and he's a very good listener. So for me, that is the tender, loving, caring side to him.
Not at all, but we also must insist that this film is not about her and me coming together. The film has much more than that. It's just that we are asked these questions and you answer one out of the 20 questions, but this is the question and the answer which is highlighted. So we worked very hard on this film, so please give that dignity and please watch the film for that. It has nothing to do with what our past was, what our equation is. I love working with her. I hope I can work with her very soon, and that's pretty much it.